Hello to everyone, NewYorkSteelo here with a video of the unboxing and discussion of packaged live sand as you see here. Now, I'm going to talk about this live sand and I'm going to compare it to real live sand. Yes, this is live sand, however it's not real live sand, and I'm going to get into that. Now, I've ordered this particular brand. I've used this type of live sand for many years, since the beginning of my addiction for this hobby, and I've gone ahead and ordered 2 boxes of it. Each box brings 2 bags of packaged live sand. So 2 boxes would be equivalent to 4 bags, and each bag is 20 pounds, giving me 80 pounds of live sand. And this is the live sand that I've ordered to install and add to my 30-gallon aquarium, newly set up aquarium in the room. I needed 80 pounds so that I can have a 4-inch deep sand bed, and eventually a time it's going to become real live sand. Now, let's talk about this particular type of live sand versus real live sand. Real live sand, not this particular sand, but real live sand, comes directly from the ocean floor, collected at the reefs, but does not spend any time at the store, no more than maybe a couple of days before it arrives at your house and you can add it to your aquarium. That real live sand contains many types of worms, copepods, arthropods, different micro and macro fauna that populate the sand and keep it healthy. So this sand, on the other hand, is live sand, but does not contain the worms, the copepods, and the microfauna and the macrofauna. This sand is considered to be live sand, but it is considered to be live sand for the simple reason that it comes wet in salt water, as you see here, and it's also for the reason that within the sand bed, this particular company, Nature's Ocean, uses a type of chemical that they add to the sand, which preserves the bacteria in its natural state. So once you add it into your tank, this bacteria goes crazy, and this bacteria is basically what you need to break down undissolved organics and fish waste, poo, decomposing matter that is in the sand. So, just like live rock can come to your doorstep and is considered live rock for the simple reason that it contains the bacteria needed to break down waste and has been sitting in salt water before it arrives at your door. Now, like I said, I went ahead and ordered this type of sand. Let me tell you that what I like about this sand is that it comes in either different colors or it comes in different grain sizes. If you're going to go with a deep sand bed, by all means, do not add crushed coral or any type of sand that contains grain sizes that are bigger than 1.7 to 2 millimeters in size. So I will be making a video about deep sand beds in detail, because I did have a negative experience at one point with a deep sand bed, and I'm going to be covering that, and I'm going to make another video called Deep Sand Beds. It's called, this video is just talking about live sand. So grain sizes. The grain sizes, what I like about this company is that you can choose which color sand you want. If you want natural white, if you want pink and white type live sand that comes from different parts of the country, or black live sand. All the sand that comes inside of the bag is actually collected from the reefs, but before it arrives at your doorstep, the sand is processed in a way that it contains the bacteria but does not contain live worms and I could tell you that I have had this sand bed forever. I got it in my 90 gallon, and whether some of the worms that come in the sand after about a week that you add it, when you see it, you will see little red worms kind of wiggling around in the sand. I can't really tell you if that comes from the live rock or if it comes inside of this sandbag. I'm not 100% sure. The only way to really truly know if it comes with worms is to add it to a system without live rock and just watch and see what happens. However, you can't compare this sand to real live sand, because these beneficial critters are what keep your sand bed healthy. And in this case, with this type of sand, it'll take some time for those critters to populate the sand bed and make it even more effective. So this has been a video of live sand. I'm going to be adding this sand to my 30-gallon display in the room, and after I do that and everything clears up, I will be making an update video and showing you guys the sand and you know what it looks like. Now before I end the video, I wanted to tell you that this bag of sand, I chose it to be the natural white color. I know it looks a little yellowish, but that's not the way it really is going to look when you add it to the system. It's going to look really white. And the grain size for this particular live sand, I've chosen it to be 0.01 millimeters to 0.05 millimeters in size. That makes it about, some of the grain size are no bigger than 0.5 millimeter. So this type of size, grain size sand bed is ideal for deep sand beds. You know, you want to make sure that if you're going to have a deep sand bed, it's sugar fine type sand where the detritus does not get trapped within the sand bed itself, such as it would do if it were to be crushed coral. But that's that. I'm going to discuss that in a future video. Just wanted to show you guys the sand and give you, you know, a little heads up on this particular type sand. Another type of sand that's really popular in the hobby is very similar to this and comes wet, and it is, you know, they have many different kinds, but I'm a fan of Nature's Ocean, and I can tell you that I'm happy about it. Let's see what happens and the results that I get when I add it to the system. With that said, NewYorkSteelo signing out. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All of this information is welcome on YouTube. So till next time, peace.